Alright, welcome back to GeoGuessr. So this one is a Canada personal best in the Canada updated coverage map, and I actually only beat my personal best by 10 seconds here. So as you can see, first round, it's I'm kind of feeling like it's Ontario. There's the Ontario Highway 6 sign off to the side there, and then there's a bunch of place names that I haven't really heard of. Except Hanover sounds kind of familiar, but I didn't really know where it was, and I didn't know if I had heard of that Hanover or a different Hanover. Obviously, there's the one in Germany that I guess they're named after. But yeah, here we're in the center of whatever town this is, and I think I figure I'll just look for Highway 6 because it's probably quite big if it's just a one-digit one, and it turns out it is pretty big. Looking at it now on the video, because I'm not doing the commentary live. I'm watching this video after. You can see Mount Forest there, which I actually forgot about. I forgot Mount Forest was on that sign. I was looking for Hanover actually, but then when I went back and looked at that sign, the directional sign, it showed that Hanover was off to the side. It wasn't on Highway 6. So I went back to the start here, and then I think I'm looking for that sign again, the highway or the place names. So I figure, yeah, I see that Hanover is off to the west and Mount Forest is straight ahead. So we're on Mount Forest is the one on Highway 6. So instead I look for that. Unfortunately, I'm not very good at looking for multiple places at a time for some reason. I'm only good at looking for one name. So I find Mount Forest, and I figure that the grid doesn't line up, and the river, there's nothing south of the river in Mount Forest. There's no church there. So I figure let's just look at something north, since it said Mount Forest is south of us, and I find Durham, and I see the bridge and the church there, so I just put the point down there. I could have saved a bit of time here by not messing around with the pinpointing so much. And the country streak is I just have the plug-in there, so it will show up anyway, even if I don't get it right. So Quebec, I see the highway number here, and throughout the last couple attempts before doing this, I really shifted my attitude towards Quebec in GeoGuessr, because before I really didn't like getting Quebec because I typically am not good with finding the place names and stuff, and a lot of the place names are hard for me just because they're very long names. So here we find 368. But yeah, and then my attitude kind of shifted because I realized that the pattern, like the highway numbers, they tend to have a pattern. Like if it's the 300 number ones are all around the same area, generally the 200 ones are around the same area, and the 100 ones are around the same area. And they tend to have a lot of signs on the road saying the highway names. So I do actually like getting Quebec now. And here I'm kind of confused because it just says Saint Pierre on the sign, which I didn't realize it was just short for Saint Pierre de l'Orleans there. So I was looking around a bit too long. If I knew it was that, I would have just guessed quicker. But then I realized that this is the intersection up ahead where there's the bridge into Quebec City, or towards Quebec City. So I figured we're close to that, and I don't know what I'm doing here exactly. I think I'm a bit confused as to what the sign's pointing at. I guess eventually I realized, yeah, that it is that intersection there. And the intersection's the one with the Petro-Canada up ahead there, and yeah, off to the right would go into Quebec City. So I'm just pinpointing it here. Can't remember how I find it exactly. Oh, I think this place shows up, that business on the sign, Cassis Mona Affile, however you say that. That showed up, and then yeah. So next round was Alberta. I was between Alberta and Saskatchewan, but then the sign said secondary highway 870. So Alberta is pretty easy for those because they all kind of follow a pattern of increasing numbers to the east as it goes farther east. So 870, I think it took me a little while for some reason I went right over it there. So that's kind of annoying. I could have saved a bit of time. I literally clicked right over it. There it is. I guess I found it pretty quickly. So then it was just finding the Township Road 414, which took a bit too long. For some reason I wasn't really paying attention, and I was going farther north even though the numbers were increasing up that way, so I should have gone the other way, so I could have saved quite a bit of time on this round. And I also could have just, because I think it's only one road per mile, right? So I should have, or one number per mile, so I should have gone down a lot farther, a lot quicker. But then eventually I find it, I just quickly line it up to make sure that one side it goes like a few meters and then ends. So that was correct. And then this one was in Quebec again, I think. Yeah. So again, the signs were pretty helpful, like the highway numbers. And before I wouldn't have liked getting Quebec because those place names I wouldn't have been able to find. I don't think it would have taken a while. But then 202 and 201, I wasn't sure exactly where they would be at first. I was just looking where for where the 200 numbers are. So actually, they're not all together because there are some 100 level ones with, or not level, but like highways that start with 1. Near ones that start with 2, but in general they're kind of in the same area. So quickly I find 201, and then because 201 and 202 are close together numerically, I figured that they're close together geographically, and they were. And we were right near the intersection actually, so it was a pretty easy round. And then I just was confirming that we're there. So I could have saved a bit of time. I was just a bit confused because I didn't expect it to be that easy. So I thought there must be a catch, but there wasn't. So I'm just figuring out where we are. At first I don't see that road, and then I notice it there, so I just put down the guess. Again, I don't know why I'm busy like clicking around. I should have just left it in the first spot and guessed. And then this one was the last round, so we had about like 3 minutes and 10 seconds or so to get this round. I wasn't really sure where it was. I figured it was the Maritimes, but I wasn't sure which province. I think I see the bilingual signs, but a lot of the unofficial signs at the start at least were English. I know bilingual signs were in New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island. For some reason that plate reminded me of Prince Edward Island, but then I saw the flag here and I just went back to confirm it because I kind of missed it, but I'm pretty sure it was New Brunswick. So, and then when I came back to look, I was sure it was New Brunswick, and then you had the Acadian flag too, which I figured probably meant that we were in the northwestern part of New Brunswick. And then I noticed a lot of the signs were more French sounding, or they had French writing, and then this name was French sounding, even though the sign was technically in English, but the guy's name was definitely French. Those signs, the names were French too, and then I figured, yeah, it had to be New Brunswick, but I wasn't really sure where. I think I saw the ocean off to the side, off to the north, but that doesn't really narrow it down without a town name. So, unfortunately, I went the wrong way. I mean, I didn't know at the time, obviously, but I should have gone the other way first, which I do here. And pretty quickly, it helps me out here, because the curve, and when I'm guessing, eventually the big curve helps me out quite a bit to narrow it down. But then quite quickly I get to a important or useful sign up here. I can't remember exactly how long it takes, but it should be around here because there's a junction that we get to. Maybe it was a bit farther than I remember, but yeah, so we're just getting to about 2 minutes. We still have about a minute to spare at this time to still get the personal best. Actually, it was a bit longer than I expected, so I thought it was like right around that corner, but it actually is quite a ways to this junction. But here's the junction. So New Brunswick 15. Unfortunately, that guy's sign was in the way. But New Brunswick 15, one way went to PEI, which turned out to be 16 there, so I just found 15 quite quickly, and then the other way was to Moncton, and then I think I just looked for the name of the town, which was Shimog, I guess you'd say it. I wasn't sure exactly where it was because I figured we're closer to PEI, but then I saw it there, so I went back to I found which road we were on pretty quickly, and then I was trying to look for this building, but I don't think it showed up on Google. But then I saw some of the other names that I had recognized from earlier, so I just went back to look for this street, and I think I found it pretty quickly. It ended with Andre. The first part was blurred, but I didn't really need to know what it was. It was Adolphe Andre, whatever. And there was the perfect score, 9 minutes 30 seconds. 9 minutes 29 seconds there. Actually, I don't know which one. I guess I'm gonna go by. Well, that's the end of the video. I'm gonna go by the what GeoGuessr says here. 9 minutes 29 seconds. So pretty good round. I took, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 attempts, not full games, but like if I didn't have enough time left, basically if I only had 1 minute left per round, I would just quit my attempt because it's pretty rare to get less than a minute per round, especially in multiple rounds. Um, this one was kind of interesting though because other than kind of round three, which was the Alberta one, other than that, and I guess round four to the Quebec one where we're near the intersection, there wasn't really any round that was like very good. They're all just kind of average rounds, but there weren't really any bad rounds, except the last one was a bit too long. I wish I had gone the other way first. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. It wasn't like there's some very easy round, because I did get one the other day where I was like in the suburbs of Vancouver, or like farmland around Vancouver with numbered streets that I knew exactly where it was. I think the other day I got, oh, for the when I was trying the US one, I got something near Oakland, like near San Francisco, and I knew exactly where it was right away. But yeah, there's no rounds like this or like that in this game, but it worked out pretty well. So I'll keep trying to beat this record. Unfortunately, it's going to take a long time. I would assume, just because it took a long time just to get this record, and it was only 10 seconds off. The U.S. record, I feel like it's going to take a long time to break that record, because I think last time my personal best, I was just very lucky with the rounds that I got in that one, because I've tried like maybe 20 times since then, and I haven't gotten anywhere near 7 minutes and whatever my record was. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more. I'll try to upload these, but I can't really guarantee when they'll come out, just because it depends how long it takes me to beat my personal best. Thanks for watching.